remember last show you said, "Where's Colburn?" I don't know where Colburn is.
So tell me why Nazem Kadri's on the first line.
Okay, I'll tell you why Colburn over Kadri, because Colburn's not on in this lineup.
Oh wow, okay.
Well, I mean, you know how bad he's been playing.
But I want Nazem Kadri. Tell me Nazem Kadri.
Okay, Nazem Kadri. I agree with you 100%. He needs to play with offensively gifted players. If he's playing on the third line, like let's just say my third line is centered by Bozak. Now, if you switch them, yes, you're gonna get some chemistry that's carried over from last season with having Bozak with Kessel and Lupul. But I mean, it's not that I don't like Bozak, because he's a good player. He's just not a great player, and we need a good enough player to be with Kessel. You know, Bozak is not a number one center. Kadri could be a number one center if he ever pulled up his socks and got a chance, because he hasn't been given a chance. He really hasn't.
I think fans would go up in an uproar if they found out Nazem Kadri was the first line center, but I like
in a good way. I like
it though.
The fans would freak out in a good way, in my opinion.
You got to give him a shot.
Of course.
And you don't know how good he can be if he's not playing with guys that have talent. And like I said before, you can't have him playing with Mike Brown or Clark MacArthur, Colby Armstrong.
No, you.
Right? That's who he's played with.
I know. We can't. Like, it's useless to do that. You know, you're never gonna find out what your prospects can do. Your high-end prospects, I should say, if you don't put them with high-end players. It's simple as that. Anyways,
so what's the second line?
The second line is JVR left, Grabowski center, Kulemin right. I put Kulemin
on the second line.
Kulemin's on. Like, who else would you put on the second line?
I know how big of a fan you are of Matt Fratton, so I thought you would have put Fratton, Grabowski, and Van Riemsdyk.
Well,
because Kulemin struggled last year.
Let me get to the third line, and I'll tell you why I don't have Fratton on the second line. Third line, left wing MacArthur, Bozak centering, and the right wing is Fratton.
That's the third line?
Yes.
MacArthur, Bozak, Fratton?
Fratton. The reason I do that...
That's not much of a checking line. That's more of a third scoring line.
Hey, they're a defensively, it's a good line. Scoring-wise, it's a good line. I think that's a good third line. And they do have a lot more chemistry than Bozak, Kessel, and Lupul had. That line. I call them an energy line. Bozak's fast. You know, he scores an odd goal. Fratton,
he penalty kills. Not very well, but he penalty kills.
Fratton, he scores, and he's physical.
I'd like to see Matt Fratton with Phil Kessel, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
And not in your lineup, in real life, I'd like to see Matt Fratton with Phil Kessel.
You know, like, there's a couple of differences from...
So Fratton makes the team outright.
He has to. He's been one of the best players on the Marlies.
So if you've got MacArthur, Bozak, and Fratton there must be a big name that you're cutting out. Or maybe two big names.
There's two big names.
So what's the fourth line?
The fourth line, well...
Who centers the fourth line? Is it Steckel? Okay. Is it McClement?
Okay,
it has to be McClement because
according to Randy Carlyle, just yesterday, he has said that... actually, he didn't say it during the presser. But anyways, McClement is probably going to be centering the line after the face-off. Steckel will take the face-offs.
Well, Steckel's good at face-offs.
Exactly. But Steckel's not going to primarily play center on that line. He'll play wing. But between McClement, Steckel, and Brown, that's your fourth line. Good energy, physical line. They can win face-offs, kill penalties.
So who are the big names that are the practice guys?
I'm sorry, big names? Well, in my opinion, they're not big names.
Well, they're not big names, but they're big money.
They are big money, and I think that, I know Randy Carlyle has said that just because you were on the team last year doesn't mean you have a spot, and I think he was referring to Lombardi and Connolly. And
you've got them scratched.
I have them scratched. Why? Connolly is past his prime. He can't do anything at center. He can't score.
It's funny because
he was supposed to be brought in as the number one center.
I know, and it's funny because he might start as the number one center. That's the funny part.
If he starts... I don't know who they're facing off against, but they're on the road, I'm pretty sure. And if he starts in game one between Lupul and Kessel...
You're going to go dancing naked in the streets?
I'm going to probably turn off the television. I'm not going to watch the game.
Are you kidding me? I know for a fact you wouldn't do that.
I would. No, I would. I don't want to watch Connolly centering Kessel's line.
You would miss opening face-off. You'd wait about 40 seconds, and you'd turn the TV back on to see the second or third line come in. That's what you would do.
See, the thing is, I'm a sucker for national anthems. So, and you know, I love. Well, I guess if they start on the road, unless it's another Canadian team, you're not going to see a really good national anthem ceremony there. Okay, whatever. I'll skip the whole game then. If Tim Connolly if they've come out with the lineups during that day before the game starts, if Connolly is in that friggin' first line, I'm done.
He is grinding his teeth. That is how much he hates Tim Connolly.
Anyways,
on to defense.
Yes, defense.
First pairing.
We're looking a little better now with defense. Now that the Marlies are coming up, and that is where I'm going to start. Mr. Paul Ranger is going to be brought up.
I want to know the first pairing.
Yeah, Paul Ranger. With
like
Phaneuf.
the first pairing of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You have Paul Ranger.
Paul Ranger has been lights out. He's a defensive, offensive-minded Paul Ranger. Listen, for someone who rarely watches Marlies games, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm talking about. Paul, do you know Paul Ranger used to play for the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Yes, I do.
He was crap?
He was crap, but I'll tell you right now, he is one of the better defensemen the Leafs have seen in a long time, and that defensively though.
Are you listening to yourself talk? Paul Ranger's on your first pairing.
With Phaneuf.
Yes.
Do you want to know why I put him, or are you just going to keep berating me?
It's kind of fun. I'm getting a good kick out of it, but do tell.
I'm going to tell. Just be quiet. Phaneuf is a physical, offensively minded defenseman, right? Now, Ranger, he has offense, right? He's good on the power play, but he's also a little more defensive, at least in my opinion, than Phaneuf is. Now, let's go over the other defensemen before you start, crucifying me for putting him with Phaneuf.
My point is, hold on, but my point is...
Who would you put with Phaneuf then? Out of every other defenseman, who would you put with Phaneuf?
John Michael Lyles.
Why? They're both...
Because John Michael Lyles moves the puck, and Dion Phaneuf can stay back and play defense.
But no, he can't, though. If you want to have success, you cannot have Phaneuf staying back. He's not Shen. You don't want him to be Shen.
I can't believe we're having this much of a discussion of Paul Ranger on Paul Ranger. Paul Ranger isn't even Maple Leafs property. He's an AHL contract.
And they will, I guarantee...
he just plays
Andrew, I guarantee they will sign him before the season starts.
And he'll
have an NHL contract.
And he'll have a place in the starting lineup?
In the opening night lineup.
Paul Ranger will
be there. I swear on my life, Gardner will be playing...
Okay. Sorry, go through the rest of your pairings.
I'm going to give you all my pairings, then you can belittle them. Okay. First pairing, Phaneuf Ranger. Second pairing, Gardner Lyles.
I like that. But they both move the puck. But okay, go on. I won't criticize.
We have a lot of them are offensive though. That's the problem. The third pairing is Gunnarsson, Franzen. Komisarek is the odd man out. Okay. Now we could.
I agree with that.
Now, if Komisarek was at all good, I'd put him with Phaneuf because that. I mean, that's two big guys. One can score. One can't do anything except he can't even defend, really. That's why he's not playing. But anyways, that's the point. I wanted someone who was good and then Phaneuf to score, right? Ranger is defensively, in my opinion, better than Gardner defensively.
I would flip, if I have to have Paul Ranger in my lineup, I'm going to flip Ranger and Lyles for the fact that Lyles can basically skate, good puck-moving defenseman, which Dion isn't. Dion's the one with the big shot. And then you've got Jake Gardner there. And the thing with Jake Gardner is then you have a veteran with him in Paul Ranger.
And he has played with Paul Ranger in the Marlies. And listen to me.
I know.
He has.
I just can't get over this.
And on the power play, both of them have played the power play together. And they're racking up points like crazy before Gardner got his concussion.
I like the Gunnarsson-Franzen combo. I think
they have to re-sign Franzen. They haven't re-signed him yet.
I don't think they gave Franzen enough of an opportunity last year.
I don't think they did either.
I
love Franzen.
Puck moving. Hard shot. Gets it on net.
He's a huge defenseman, and he can move the puck fast.
When we got him,
sign him right now. Call Brian Burke right now and tell him to sign him.
I think people forget that the reason they got Matthew Lombardi, the reason they took him on was to get Cody Franzen. Because Cody Franzen
and now they use Lombardi more.
He was a defenseman up and coming, and but okay, and so We've got the defense led by Paul Ranger, who's in net.
I didn't say Koska. Koska and Komisarek are going to be the odd men out.
Okay.
But Koska on the power play, lights out. He is lights out.
He's had a really good year. I think he's second in the AHL for defensemen, if I read that properly.
Justin Schultz is right now first, but I mean Justin Schultz
is Justin Schultz first in everything though? Or is
he's first in everything. Not for very long, because the
Oilers.
The Marlies are playing tonight. Justin Schultz, Eberle, and Taylor Hall and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, they're not playing with OKC.
I wanted to fit the Oilers in. I don't think we're gonna have enough time.
No, we only got about 10 minutes.
But
10 minutes.
But go on to your goaltending.
Goaltending is obvious. Reimer, Scrivens. I don't want Luongo.
Is it a platoon or is James Reimer the majority?
Reimer's majority. The thing is, Reimer. I mean, if I'm Carlisle, if Reimer has one bad game, especially with the shortened season, put Scrivens in. He's played amazing.
You're saying one bad game, you would go to Scrivens?
If you lose the first game, put Scrivens in.
I don't.
That's kind of like a Ron Wilson thing. But
I was gonna say that. I don't think you should spark controversy like that.
It's a shortened season. They haven't won in 8 years.
It's Toronto hockey.
It doesn't matter if it's Toronto hockey. Okay, it doesn't. That's not the point.
It's a big market.
It's not gonna. There's gonna be no controversy. Trust me. Do you know why?